everybody. I'm about to begin my project installing the Windy Nation 200 watt solar panels. And the first thing I need to do is install these Z brackets. The panels themselves came with 4, but I actually ordered 2 more, so it would be a total of 6 to make sure that it doesn't blow off the roof of the RV. I'll have to drill an extra set of holes for the extra brackets that I ordered, so we'll start with that. First thing I did is grab a scrap piece of wood. I want to put it under where I'm drilling through to make sure that I don't puncture into the solar panel itself, because it's made out of glass and it's pretty fragile. And then now that we have the holes drilled, the next thing we'll do is install the brackets. One down, and now we'll go start on the other one. Now that we've got the brackets installed, we can take the panels out to the RV and mount them on the roof. The RV that we're going to install it on is a Starcraft 187TB hybrid camper. Because it's a hybrid and has the bed on the rear, it doesn't have a ladder, so the first thing we'll have to do is set up a ladder to get up on top of the roof. Now that I got the solar panels up here, I had to find a place to put them. The best location I could find is one here towards the front and one back here behind the air conditioner, between the air conditioner and the fan. I needed them to be close enough that the cables could reach the Y connectors, and then I need to go down the refrigerator vent here to reach the inside of the camper. So the next thing, now that I figured out where to place them, I'm going to have to lag bolt them to the roof, and then I'll seal it with Dicor to make sure that it doesn't leak when it rains. And now I'm going to finish the job off by completely covering the top of the lag bolt and the foot with Dicor to make sure the seal is completely watertight. I have completed the install of the solar panels. All of the bolts have been Dicored, and hopefully I don't have any leaks. The next step, now that we have the solar panels installed, is to get this roof vent cover off. This is actually the refrigerator vent. There's some Dicor sealant over the screw head, so we're going to have to dig that out first. As you can see, there's a screen that prevents insects from going in there and making nests. We're gonna have to probably cut a little hole in the corner of this to feed the wires down through. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna mark the positive cable with a little piece of masking tape. That way, once I feed it down through, I know which one's positive. As you can see, we've got the wires fed down through the vent, and now we're going to pull the slack through. Now that we got the wires fed down through the roof vent, we're going to drill a hole here in the refrigerator compartment that goes down into the cabinet below inside the RV, and then we'll feed our wires through that and we'll hook it up to the charge controller. As you can see, we're in the RV now, and here's the refrigerator. So on the other side is the panel we had open where we drilled the hole. And as you look down under here, there's a cabinet I've opened up, and you can see the wires coming in right here. I've chosen this cabinet underneath the refrigerator for the place that I'm going to put the charge controller. I'm going to mount it right here inside the cabinet, and I'll connect it in, and then from here I'll run it over to connect into the converter where we'll hook it into the battery line. As you can see, I've hooked the solar controller to the wall, and I've wired in the wires coming from the solar panels into the solar controller. The next thing I need to do is wire from the solar controller to the power converter. To do that, I'm going to have to go through this space back here, around here through the bathroom. Under the sink there's access. Then I can reach in here underneath the shower, and the hardest part will be going from there around here behind this pantry and then over here to the power converter, at which point I can hook it up straight to the line coming in from the battery. Here's a more wide angle view of where I have to go from. Right here is the refrigerator, and I got to go from under here through the bathroom, behind the toilet there, and then over here to the power converter. Unfortunately, to run this wire, I didn't have any easy way to do it, so I had to pull up this access panel under the rear bunk here, and then I can get access from under the shower and run it right over here to the power converter. I've disconnected the battery, so there's no power coming in right now. I've also disconnected the AC power too. I found the incoming wire from the battery right here. That's where I'm going to tie in the positive from the solar panel. And down here there's also the ground, and I'll tie in the negative into the ground. I've got everything completely hooked up now, and as you can see, it's sunny out, and I'm drawing 9.2 amps currently, which is pretty good. That'll provide a lot of power for my needs when I'm boondocking without electrical hookups.